Ben Jordan with Action. We're in the shop today. We're running over a few things. We got guys moving in and out. I just wanted to take a time right now and go over something that's really, really important to me, really important to a lot of people out there. A lot of people don't understand, and that is how to, and I put in quotations, bid on service plumbing, okay? When we talk about bidding on service plumbing, I don't really like that word because it gives the notion that we're not there to solve the customer's problem. We're there to give them an estimate or some sort of bid to their problem and not actually be there to solve their problem. The first thing that I do when I go out to bid on a customer's problem, right, is I really want to make sure that I gain their trust, right? The most important thing that I do is I want to make sure I gain their trust, okay? I'm a weird guy showing up to a customer's home. They don't know me, unless I was referred to them, they really don't know me from Adam. First thing that on my list of to-dos is to gain their trust. How do we gain their trust? We drive really nice vans, and the customers should see that. The truck should be parked in a position where we show up to their home and it's right there in front. So when they open the door, they're seeing that, or they look out the window like, who's just showed up to the house, right? They see this big red van that has our logo on it. They know who's showing up. And that right there is gonna give them the peace of mind, like, hey, I called a reputable company, okay? When I pull up to the customer's home, I'm going to park in a position where they can see my truck. When I get out, I'm gonna make sure I'm not smoking a cigarette and flicking it on their driveway and walking up to the door. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure that when I walk up to their home, right, and I lay down my mat and I put on my shoebies and I knock on their door, I'm doing that all in a very timely manner. I'm not gonna be hanging out in front of their house, not showing up, not going inside. We want them to feel comfortable. We want them to feel like we care about their home just as much as they care about their home. When I walk up there, I knock on their front door and they answer it. I say, hey, I'm Ben, I'm with Action Plumbing. I'm here to figure out what you got going on, and I'm here to take care of your problem, okay? I'm not here to bid on your plumbing. I'm here to take care of your problem you got going on today, okay? In that introduction, I'm letting them know who I am, where I'm coming from, and what I'm there to do. Those are three main points that really solidify building trust with customers. That first interaction, I really want you guys to understand how they perceive you will be how they perceive your work. When we're going through the steps of getting them to trust us, right? You always have to remember the way they perceive you in that first interaction is how they're gonna perceive your work is gonna be performed. That's what we're there for, is we're there to perform work for them so they no longer have an issue with what they're currently going through right now. One of my favorite things to do to gain trust with a customer when I'm there, taking care of a problem and figuring out what they got going on is asking questions. And I put this on right here, ask educated questions. And what I mean by that is we're plumbers. We've gone through a lot of training. We've gone through a lot of hours of work and late nights and long weekends, right? To know what we know. So when we're asking questions, we're asking educated questions. And we're not doing it in FBI style questioning. We're not robots. We're not, asking them these random questions. We're asking them educated questions, about how old their home is. How long have they lived there? Have they been experiencing any problems with said fixtures or said problem that they're going through right now? Have they been experiencing any issues with their plumbing? Those are educated questions. FBI style questions is like robot, really serious, how long have you lived here? Creeping them out. That's what I'm talking about, FBI style question. We don't want to do that because it all automatically triggers them to thinking that we're there just to get their money and run for the hills. Another part that's really, really important in our whole entire process of getting them to trust us is keep it fresh, keep it loose. We want them to be disarmed. We don't want them to be armed. We don't want them thinking, hey, I have to fight this guy because he's here to just take my money, okay? We want to be the solution to them. We don't want to be another problem. So remember, always be a solution, don't be an added problem. So keep it fresh, keep it loose, and disarm them. After we go through our questioning phase, after we go through the phase of introducing ourselves, figuring out what's going on, asking them the educated questions, right? Keeping it fresh and loose and disarming them so they feel comfortable with us not only being in their home, but looking at whatever problem they have going on. Okay, that's when we get into the diagnose and recommend stage. The diagnose and recommend stage is probably one of the most important things because that is actually what we do to figure out what's going on. Us as plumbers, we've gone through a lot of stuff. We know a lot of stuff is going on. When we get in that diagnose part, most of the time we know already what's going on, but we still have to go through the process of figuring out exactly what they have going on. Even if you already know what's going on and you've already seen it a million times, take the time, go through what's going on, figure out what they have. That's when we get into our recommend stage. When I'm talking about recommending is where we'll be talking with the customer, right? I like to show them, hey, this is what we have going on and this is what I usually recommend, but what I'm gonna do for you, right, is I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna present options and solutions for them. So when I'm writing up my options and my solutions. When I'm in the diagnose and recommend stage, I go through and I talk to them about what's going on. I walk them through everything that they have going on. I'm recommending things, right? But I'm not associating a price with those recommendations, right? I'm building the value in not only myself, but whatever I'm doing for them. And what that does is naturally gets the customer wanting and needing that price, right? But I'm not gonna be giving that price in the recommend stage. I'm gonna be giving the price in the options and solutions phase of that whole entire bid process, because people want what they can't have. And so in this right here, I like to put them in a position where they're wanting that price.
I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I have to have that.
Right, and they're not just expecting me to give them bad news, but they're like, hey, we know what the bad news is, and now I really want a price because Ben, he's such a good guy. Action is such a reputable company. I really want this price because they're gonna solve not only my problem right now, but they're gonna solve a lot more problems in the future. So when we present our options and our solutions, we've already gone through the diagnose phase. We've already recommended everything that we possibly can recommend to take care of that problem in that instance, right? So we're writing up our options, and our solutions are the bid. Okay? Options and solution are the bid. And we're not just there to drop that off of them. We're not there in their home, most of the time late nights, most of the time on weekends or holidays. We're not there to just drop off a piece of paper and say, hey, call me when you can, because they have real problems, and real problems need real solutions. That's why I write this right here. So we have our options. I always like to give multiple options, good, better, best. And then the solution is me, saying, hey, this is what we have going on. This is the price associated with it. I can take care of it for you right now. There are so many different ways to present these options and solutions, and those are things that we go through with our Action Academy. We're gonna be going over, we're gonna be making more videos, we're gonna be doing a lot more of these to educate guys in the service, plumbing, HVAC, and electrical trade, because it's such an important thing. We take care of so many people, and I just wanna get out there and I want people to know what I know, and I wanna be able to grow the trades, and I want to be able with everybody to grow and learn and be able to do the things that I do on a bigger stage. So if you have any more questions, tune in for more videos. We're going to go over a lot more stuff.